there's so many things going on right now in terms of Twitter and the media wanting to cancel things. Well, Gearbox is suing 3D Realms Power Company for a breach of contract in the ownership of Duke Nukem franchise. According to a lawsuit filed last Friday, this is the latest to the series for Duke-related complaints stretching back over a decade. So that's why you haven't seen a Duke Nukem game since forever. First of all, Duke Nukem Forever, I was a flop. It was one of the worst games of that year. But yeah, at this point, I can't wonder why the Time Warner series is hit left deck. Okay, most people think, oh, it's because Duke Nukem Forever was a flop, which it was. Duke Nukem Forever was a flop. Nobody bought the game. Okay, it was a failure. Nobody bought the game because it was a massive disappointment. A game that everybody was waiting for, was hoping to be good, but was instead turned out to be an awful, one of the biggest disappointments in gaming history. Well, according to Gearbox, they wanted to, obtain Duke Nukem free review of a copy of Frizz brought into the franchise. After the release of Duke Nukem 3D Anniversary, Gearbox ran the pitchforks, though digital translators company was forced by the latest complaint of upwards the failed to settle with Prince and denied a request that would involve Gearbox's responsibility. When it comes to legacy, Duke Nukem is up there with Doom and Half-Life in the way that the first-person shooter genre for its time. Duke Nukem 3D had an older, outdated humor and attitude, fondly remembered as one of the best first-person shooters of the 90s. But now, because of Duke Nukem Forever, of course, we all know how Duke Nukem Forever was a failure. But yeah, what do we really lose? The Duke Nukem Code fades away. It's a parody of action heroes of the era. Okay? The Duke Nukem the character, of course. This is what I was saying. Okay? Instead of talking about how bad Duke Nukem Forever was and how much of a flop that game was, nope. Duke Nukem, he's toxic. That's why. He's toxic, okay? He's toxic. And of course, nowadays, at this day and age, if you make a game like Duke Nukem, a game like Duke Nukem will never be made today. They are kind of right there, okay? Duke Nukem will never be made today because there would be hundreds of memes like, Duke Nukem's too toxic masculinity, okay? Duke Nukem's too toxic, 0 out of 10. It's not woke, okay? And yeah, it's kind of like, Duke Nukem is very similar to Johnny Bravo, okay? Remember that show? That's another show that won't be able to be made today because, guess what? Twitter would be angry. Because they're like, why are you allowing this misogynist and racist and, sexist and toxic soul to be released? And yeah, saying the states for first-person shooters, but yep, they'll complain that Duke Nukem is too toxic, okay? Yep, Duke Nukem is too toxic for Twitter, okay? And they are kind of right there, okay? And essentially the United States of better garrison problems was predicted will affect the real Earth in any way. And from a gameplay perspective, I don't see what Duke Nukem it will give people because Twitter will complain. They will complain. That's basically about Duke Nukem. They'll complain about Duke Nukem. They don't want Duke Nukem back because he's too toxic for Duke Nukem, okay? He's too toxic for it, okay? And yeah, that's stupid. I think if Duke Nukem was in the good hands, I think they could make a good game. But again, Twitter would try to cancel the game at the whole point while the game is in development, basically, because that's how Twitter is. And yeah, that's basically it. Goodbye.